Every time a woman receives a gift from her father, she immediately puts on gloves, then takes out testing tools, carefully examines every corner of the gift. She wants to find his fingerprints on it, but strangely enough, in the entire 17 years, she has never succeeded even once, because her father has been missing for 17 years. Yet she never dares to call the police, never dares to ask the authorities to help find him, because she knows deep down, her father is very likely the serial killer from 17 years ago. Back then, she had just come home from school when she suddenly received a notice from the police. The killer was wearing work clothes at the time, about 1.8 meters tall, wearing a hat and mask, and had an obvious burn scar on his right hand. Most terrifying of all, these characteristics matched her father perfectly. From that day on, her father never came back. He only sent her 2 letters, telling her to completely remove all traces of him in the house. All the clues pieced together seemed to prove one thing: her father was that fugitive murderer who had been on the run for years. And over these 17 years, every time her birthday came around, her father would send a gift right on time. This also meant he was probably hiding nearby all along. But Mary searched almost every market and neighborhood, yet never found any trace of her father, until one day, she accidentally learned the police had reopened the investigation, and were going all out to track down the killer from back then. That gave Mary an idea. Since she couldn't find her father herself, why not use the police's power to search for him? So she rented an apartment right across from Jack, the detective in charge of the case. She installed surveillance cameras in advance, so she could keep tabs on the police's progress at any time. And this method actually worked. But just a second later, something strange happened. That old landline phone she had hidden in the cabinet suddenly rang after being silent for 17 years. At that moment, Mary was both excited and scared, because this phone had long been abandoned. Logically speaking, no one should be able to call it anymore. And the reason she kept it all along was hoping that one day, she might hear her father's voice from the other end. But when she picked up the phone, there was no sound from the other side. Just then, she instinctively turned her head and saw Jack on the phone. Instantly, she understood everything. This call was made by Jack, so she quickly put the phone away, afraid to reveal her identity. But at that moment, the most shocked person was Jack on the other end, because when the last murder happened 17 years ago, someone had voluntarily called the police. But based on the time of the crime and the time of the report, the caller was very likely the killer himself. It was clearly a deliberate provocation. Now, 17 years later, Jack had found the original landline used for that report. Although the phone was broken and unusable, it could still export all the numbers dialed. So Jack sorted through the call records from the day of the crime and started calling each number one by one. All the previous numbers went unanswered. Only the very last number actually connected, and the voice on the other end belonged to Mary. Thinking about how Mary's father disappeared right after the crime, and all traces of him in the house had been cleaned up, Jack suddenly had a bold guess. Mary's father was very likely the serial killer the police had been hunting for 17